Last night, there was a significant leak about the events that would take place in the White House today. Regulators, particularly the SEC, have been enforcing stringent laws against cryptocurrencies for years. Could they, however, be getting ready for a future supported by digital assets behind closed doors? If accurate, this might account for the ongoing struggle for control over blockchain innovation, recent regulatory actions, and central bank conversations about digital currency. We're dissecting all of the news that surfaced last night and this morning and analyzing why it matters. What possible effects might this have on stablecoins, Bitcoin, and XRP, as well as the possible function of digital assets in the international financial system? The consequences are enormous, and this is one of the largest crypto morning shows I have ever done on YouTube. As we break down all of these elements and discuss how they affect your cryptocurrency investment, stay tuned. We have a lot to cover, so let's get right into this without further delay. At $89,015 today, Bitcoin has lost 2.55% over the last day. Ethereum is currently down 4.5% and is trading at $2,193. The price of XRP is a mean, lean $2.52. With both stablecoins, USDT and USDC, closing at 99 cents, it is down 3.51%. The market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies is $2,893 billion. Here, we're taking a little long position in ETH. I received the $2,159.00 entry this morning. Listen carefully. Brad Garlinghouse, J.P. Richardson of Exodus, Matt Young, David Bailey, and Michael Saylor. Fascinating. Arjun Sith from Kraken, Chris Maslov, CEO of Crypto.com, Brian Armstrong, Vlad Tenev from Robinhood, Kyle Samari, Zach Wickoff, and Sergey from Chainlink. What's intriguing is that, although we might be missing a page, I'm not sure if Gemini is listed here. Coinbase and Crypto.com were there, but Gemini was not. I think that's very intriguing. The gathering at the White House today is going to be really intriguing. The news that was released yesterday reached us. This is where we found the fact sheet. I want to dig right in and break things down. Twitter is currently experiencing a wide range of conflicting feelings. Do I know the answers to all of this? I don't. I'll share with you what I learned from this. Last night, I spent about 2 hours staring at this after returning from my softball game. In the kitchen, I was standing. This is what I was going through. I was bringing up historical examples to illustrate the true significance of this and its potential connections. People are optimistic. People are pessimistic. People believe that the government would purchase cryptocurrency, but we recently learned that this isn't the case. While they won't be purchasing altcoins, they will be searching for amicable, neutral ways to increase their Bitcoin holdings. A lot of cooking is going on. A lot of people are saying that, which is obviously a cliche, about Ripple handing over the escrow to the U.S. government. How come Ripple would lose all that money? B. The price of anything never increases when something is given away for free. The purchase of cryptocurrency was the main news catalyst we hope to emerge from this. Since they would undoubtedly want to see the value of that asset increase if they spent money, we encourage them to do so. Even if the value drops to a penny, they still make money if they are simply holding it and received it for free. Can you understand what I'm saying? However, we will go right in. Let's go to the White House website and access the fact sheet. It states that the United States is now a leader among countries in government digital easing initiatives after President Donald Trump signed an executive order today to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile. This is a very bullish beginning line. Trump is acting on his statements. He declared that he would prioritize the United States. He said he was going to establish a U.S. digital asset stockpile and issue an executive order on a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which is somewhat different from a reserve. That's all right now. Let's dissect these two. However, he is following through on his presidential campaign promises. He would never do it, according to those who questioned this. You go now. You completed it around 6 weeks into his presidency. Claims that the order treats Bitcoin as a reserve asset and establishes a strategic reserve. The Department of Treasury's Bitcoin that was seized as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture actions will be used to fund the strategic Bitcoin reserve. The legal authority to move any Bitcoin that belongs to those agencies to the reserve will be assessed by other agencies. To put it simply, the U.S. government is purchasing Bitcoin from any assets that have been seized or frozen due to unlawful activity. Additionally, they are directly targeting the U.S. administration. That's all. It goes on to say that Bitcoin deposited into the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which will be kept as a store of reserve assets, will not be sold by the U.S. Here's what you need to consider, and as you are aware, people are always extremely cautious when using language. The White House must be, too. To harm the American people, they will not sell their Bitcoin, which means they will not dump it on the markets. However, there is no indication of trade in this. In the past, for instance, the United States has exchanged oil for something else. Therefore, this isn't mentioned, or perhaps we simply need more information. Will people exchange Bitcoin for anything else in another nation? If that's the case, it's not positive since the other country might dump a lot of Bitcoin on the market if they traded the free Bitcoin they got to get anything back. Therefore, we must exercise caution when interpreting this. Additionally, it says that the Secretary of the Treasury and Commerce can create budget-neutral plans for buying more Bitcoin as long as those plans don't cost American taxpayers more. People, this is Bitcoin only now. This has nothing to do with oil coins. It states that they will seek cost-effective ways to purchase additional Bitcoin. A budget-neutral strategy, what is it? I am aware that you will ask me that question, and I have the response. Therefore, public-private partnerships would be a budget-neutral approach. For instance, in exchange for specific regulatory advantages or tax breaks that do not result in a net tax loss, the Department of Commerce can offer incentives to private organizations to donate Bitcoin to a national reserve fund. What about a federal land mining incentive? In exchange for a certain portion of the Bitcoin that is mined going into the Treasury, the government may lease federal land or excess energy resources to these mining corporations. We can discuss the allocation of seasons. Bitcoin is regularly seized by the government due to illegal activity. A prime example is the dark web. The Treasury might keep those rather than auctioning them off on fiat. That's positive right there because, generally speaking, you get a fairly good price at an auction when they sell them. It's good because the individuals who will get the bargain will dump them. They then discuss the U.S. digital asset stockpile, which is a topic that will be covered in greater detail in the second film. These are the other assets, not Bitcoin, that are listed in the digital asset stockpile. Solana, ADA, and Ethereum were the names given to your XRP. Here, they declare that the U.S. government will only purchase assets acquired through forfeiture procedures for the U.S. digital asset stockpile. To put it simply, the U.S. government will only purchase cryptocurrency that is handed to them, that is, for free, or that may be involved in Ripple's case against the SEC. They are not purchasing XRP, Solana, Ethereum, or Cardano. We want to see you guys continuing growing, so they say, look, you guys can keep your money, your $125 million. For business purposes, we don't want to damage your runway. Instead, we'll put some XRP into a reserve if you give us some from your hoard, which is roughly $50 million at the present pricing. If the U.S. government had announced that it would be purchasing these assets, it would have been the big news we were searching for and would have pushed these markets into overdrive. Rather, they will receive these resources at no cost to them. Here's the question now. What are they intending to do with the stockpile's assets? Here, too, Alan the Turd breaks it up. Once more, XRP, ADA, ETH, and Solana, the other assets in the stockpile, will not be bought. No one will ever buy them. Bitcoin will be the sole asset that may be bought from the stockpile, provided that it is affordable or exchanged locally and does not impact U.S. tax money. Thus, a great deal of information is presented here. How should we interpret this? The question is that, is this a bull market? Is this a bearish situation? My intuition tells me that if the United States is acquiring assets, I don't care if they buy from them or if they receive them for free. These assets are extremely significant since the U.S. government will own them, not because they think their value will drop, but because they want to keep them. They think that their value will rise with time. However, if they have made it clear that they would not be selling, which is intriguing, why would you want to keep onto these assets if they will just ever be a number on paper and you will never sell them? There's a lot to dissect here. It's not too late. We will discuss this further. The White House is releasing a lot more news today.